Alright, we're working on our project here. Actually, John's working on it. It's the plans for the UNFNB, and John has been designing this specially for LED light shows.
Yeah.
And the UNFNB actually sounds like a bank and trust company, but really what it is an unidentified night-flying nutball. Let's go outside and see how our foam is gluing. So what have you got going here?
Oh, we got a 2-ply foam board, dowel, obviously.
And this is Dow foam board here.
Yeah.
2 pieces.
Two folds, crossed over, and 2 layers.
And you've glued it with some of that. What kind of glue is it? I forgot
It's
now.
Loctite.
Yeah, that's
spray
it.
glue of some kind.
Yeah, Loctite
Yeah, I'll just go get it.
adhesive spray glue. And here it is. Let me just zoom in on it a little bit. There it is right there. Good stuff.
Start from top to bottom.
Okay, explanation of how the pieces fit.
So, this, I know it kind of looks like it might be a Jessamobile, but this is the vertical stabilizer that will go on top. It'll also be double ply, and probably we'll have it so that there's some paper clips going through the middle to keep it from bending this way and this way, as well as some spars. But this doesn't really go right there like that. It actually goes back this way a little bit, something like that. So it's kind of in the middle. And then this, of course, is why it's a nutball. It's a big round circle. And then for how you're going to land it, by the way, there's this skid, goes on both sides, that will go on the bottom from front to just shy of the tail feathers. And between 2 of these goes some of this, not all of it, because we've got to be able to get the electronics. But this will go like centered. As you can see, it doesn't reach all the way to the tail feathers, which means it matches this, at least closely. Of course, it won't be perfect because it's got to go around this bend, you know. But anyway, the electronics will be between here, here.
So that's like your electronics pod, sort
yeah,
of.
and landing gear too.
And landing gear. Skid plate or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course the motor is going to go on the front.
Yeah, that's what we decided on, is the motor will go in the front.
Sort of a typical nutball design.
Yeah. Now, before that, I was considering about maybe having the propeller like smack in the middle here, or it's hidden, but then it'd be hard to wire it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe in the front would be better.
Oh yeah.
Or we could do a pusher. That'd be hard too, though.
Well, what about the LEDs? Okay, now John's going to talk about his invention for the light show part of it.
Yeah. This big old board here. Oh, there's some dust on it already. It's basically a light show sequencer, and it actually has the ability to switch sequences between 10 different files on the SD card, and it plays sound too. Now I already have a sound file loaded into it. Just going to put this on to the speaker port. Alright, and then hook up some power, at least more than 6 volts. It has to be 12 or under, obviously. But either way, this regulator is not very good, so I can't run it for very long. I'm going to have to switch it over to switching VEC when we do the final build. Just unsolder it and replace it. Wire it up manually. Okay, so there we go. Of course I got some music on it there, but that's basically that. And it sounded pretty clear, but not as clear as the original because it's only 10,000 samples per second, but that's a good enough.
Okay. Can you put some lights on it so we can see them blink?
Well, I don't have the right file structure for the lights yet because I haven't created a sequence compatible with it yet.
Alright.
I only have a sequence compatible with the old version, which was totally different.
Alright. That will be to come in the next video then.
Oh wait, before we get started though, we will show you how the program I made is supposed to work. Now, it has had a few bugs along the way. Hopefully I fixed them all.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll get to that.
Alright, let's go look.
Here we go. I'm going to launch the program. Teensy LED encoder because it uses the Teensy 3.1. And this program has, as you can see, a little chart for the colors. Now you have to load in a sound before you can do anything. You can't save, you can't do anything other than stop. And so you have to open a file first. Now there is a certain format the file has to be in for the sound. And that is 16 bits per sample, 10,000 samples per second, monaural. So it can't be stereo. So here's one I already have converted. Open that. Now all I have to do is just click and drag around on here. I can put some colors in.
So you got some audio playing while you do it.
Yeah. Now there is a little latency on the audio playback, but
will it synchronize the different colors with the audio?
Yeah, because it just picks this up at 20 frames per second, and then it plays the audio at 10,000 samples per second. And the Teensy takes that and it's very well timed, as far as I can tell.
So you have written this software, right?
Yeah. It's something I've been this software is one I've been working on for a long time and haven't really decided how I was going to do it until now. So, and then if I want to give up and just stop at that many samples and let the rest be black, which is not recommended, I can just hit stop.
Alright.
Another thing too is it's got a preview. You can see it in the window here. It also previews while recording.
Ah, it's too close. Let me get back here. What? Okay, I'm looking at that. I'm a little out of focus for some reason. There.
Well, actually, this dot isn't really completely square. It's just a blurry, you know.
So that's the colors changing in the corner there.
Yeah. Now, I can actually change it for all of them. And actually, if I try to record over this one, it'll erase everything. So, let me just show you that real quick. So, another thing too is if I hold the control key, when I release the mouse button, if I hold the control key, it'll hold the color that was originally there when I released it.
Alright.
So, now that part I don't remember if I tested right yet. I mean, I tested on previous tests, but I don't think I tested it on this test, so we'll see how it does.
Alrighty then.
So, here we go. Looks like it's working. So you just picking colors like this. And also just slide around too while holding the control key, but I can just pick it and it'll hold it.
Now why doesn't the color fill the entire black box?
Because there's actually 9 different channels and there's 9 different spots on that black box.
Oh, I got you now.
Now if I release the control key, so now it goes black when I release it.
Alright.
Now if I wanted to record a new sample into it or on a different port, I just change this port box here to, like, say 1 for example. Then I can start recording on that one. So now I got 2 colors.
You got 2 going, yeah. Yeah, see now. So eventually the whole thing would be full.
Yeah, eventually once you get it. Unless you don't have all the LEDs hooked up, then you don't really need to have them all full.
Oh yeah, you can really see the pattern starting to develop there.
I want to go out like that. See, it goes black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be careful not to go out
So
too much.
Take the cursor out of the box, it goes black.
Now, I don't have grayscale because grayscale would just look like a dim and a bright. You know, it wouldn't look any different.
Okay, so after you get all that data in, then it goes on to the SD card, right?
Yeah, but then you have to save it for that. Now, let's see here. Save. And I'm going to put it under desktop. And teensy.
Okay.
And basically, I'm just going to pick a folder and save it. Let me see if I can find my file.
Okay, while you're doing that,
Oh yeah, I'm almost done.
I'm just showing them the LEDs here. So these are these are RGB LEDs.
All right, now I'm ready to save it. See, I picked my sequence folder here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit OK. Then it asks me, do I want to save the audio? Click no if you have already converted. So if I already converted the audio, I don't have to convert it again. I already have, but I'm just going to show you that anyway.
Alright.
Now it's saving. There's no progress bar though, but it's saving right now. It usually takes a couple seconds or so. But if we go to the folder, which is on the desktop here, we should see it. That one file stays 0 until it's done.
Uh-huh.
So, see, this is still 0. It's not done yet. See, that one's been done and completed. Let's try refreshing it.
Okay.
Okay, now that one's done.
Alright.
Now the sequence is in there now.
Pretty good.
Let's just make sure. Yeah.
And then you can just copy it to the SD card and plug that into your...
Yeah. And if I didn't want it to be sequence 0, I can actually change that with the bank select. Oh, I already got a bug.
And then you plug the SD card into this slot in the light controller so that it can play the music and the light changes. And there's a whole row, actually 2 rows of outputs here for the LED RGB strings. And there's 3 leads for each string.